My name is Lakeisha, and I am part of a young women's group called YYs. And I'm also one of the hosts on A Teen's Journey that features live on Facebook 6 p.m. every Wednesday.
I'm Lakeisha. I'm a member from a young women's group called YYs. Living in Ocean View is like out of the ordinary, like it's like any teenager. Like you'll see a lot of things like good and bad, but mainly I'll focus on the good things. But also you see the negativity that's also impacting other teenagers.
My experience as a teen is that we face many challenges, but even though we have many challenges, there's always the best possible outcomes that we as teens try to reach. And living in a community like Ocean View that's full of gangsterism, there's also good aspects to it, and there's also good things that Ocean View brings. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to A Teen's Journey on our third episode, and we hope you guys are excited for our topic tonight. So this evening we will speaking about relationships, situationships, and all relationships that you have with different forms and different relationships with people. So we thanks everyone for tuning in. We welcome you once again to the third week, the halfway mark of a teen's journey. So this evening we have a relationship. So what is a relationship? A relationship is a connection you have with another person or bond that cannot be broken. Or a connection that you have with someone that is so strong that it cannot be unbreakable or it's undefeatable, to say it in that way. So you have a relationship with your friends, you have a relationship with your family, and you have relationships with your romantic partner or your partner, to say it that way. So that is what I think a relationship is, and that is what a relationship should be. It should be unbreakable. It should be a close bond that nobody can break, and it should be something that involves closeness with no interruptions. So
Yes. A relationship is also based on trust, honest opinions, like, and without trust, what is a relationship about? Because without trust, you can't have anything, right? So, yes, a relationship for me means like nothing must come in between you. Like, it has to be strong, the connection, the bond, everything has to be strong between you and your partner, you and your family and your friends. Nothing can break you up. Whatever challenge there is it meant to break you or make you. That's a relationship for me.
that's great, Lakeisha. So the viewers feel free to express what a relationship is to you in the comment section so that we can also gain more knowledge on what relationships mean to teens and what they define a relationship as. So, we're going to speak about positive relationships, negative, and toxic relationships. So, if I bring relationships in, I'm speaking about the relationships with your peers, relationship with your family, and the relationships with your partner. So, what is a positive relationship? So, this is my knowledge is when a positive relationship is when your partner, your friend, or your family motivates you and there's teamwork in the bond that you have. So there's great communication skills that makes all these relationships work. So that's what a positive relationship is. So a positive relationship in example is probably if you're a mommy's girl or a daddy's girl or you're a teacher's pet to put it that way, then you have a relationship with your teacher that's just about working on. She motivates you, he motivates you to do your work, to be on par, to he just motivates you to bring out the best in you, as well as as your family. They're always there for you. They're always caring for you when you hurt. They're there to uplift you when you're feeling down. They're there to make you feel better. So a positive relationship is a two-way street, in my opinion. A positive relationship is a two-way street. It's a way that the both of you can connect and a way that you and your friend, like the relationship you have with your best friend. Wow, that's a relationship that is like literally unbreakable. I have the same two best friends for 6 years, and many challenges has come, but we totally understand each other, and it's positive, positive, positive. Like a experience that I would speak about in this positive relationship of ours is we wrote exam matric final exam this year. Sorry, we wrote our exam term one test in matric, and in our class we were all in the top 10. I was first, my other friend was second, and the other one was third. I'm talking about me and my two best friends. So our relationship is purely positive because we're always motivating each other. We're always bringing out the best of each other, and we're always uplifting each other. So that's what a positive relationship is when your mom uplifts you, when your grandma uplifts you, when you uplift them, when they're feeling down, all that falls under positive. So what do you think, Lakeisha? What can you add on that?
My experience like similar, like in class, I have friends even at home, but I don't visit at many, but they still uplift me. My partner, my granny, my mom, obviously my two most important people. They uplift me, and whenever I'm feeling down, like I can't do anything in a situation, they always like put me like you can do it, do your best because you know you can do it. So whenever you're feeling down, you know you can't do it. There will always be your support. There will be like your back, your bone structure. Sorry, so to say. Um, yeah, I think that they are the most important people that you ever have in a positive situation. Always motivating, inspiration, everything.
So would you say that you and your family has a positive relationship? 100%.
Yes, always on a motivational level. And you?
That's good, yes. Same likewise. But sometimes your family can also be negative, you know, and your friends. We talk about family, friends, your partner, you know.
Yeah.
If you how like you even know that you are in a positive relationship or in a negative relationship, and we're gonna cover that soon down the line in this topic. So
Mm.
our next point or form, remember we have three, we broke down the relationship into three parts. We have positive, we have toxic and negative. But toxic and negative is separate, but also it's kind of similar. So you can familiarize it as one, or you can familiarize it as two. So what is a negative and a toxic relationship if you have to define it in your own way, Lakeisha? What would you say a negative and toxic relationship is?
For me, I'd say that the negative and toxic relationship is like when you know like they're not bringing any benefit to you as a person. They're not there helping you grow. They're just taking from you. They're not giving to you like for you to grow. They're not planting your seed like when you're also planting, you actually planting their seeds for them to grow, but they're not letting you grow with them. That's my understanding of toxic and a negative relationship.
That's cool, Lakeisha. But did you know that they are actually separate, a toxic and a negative, but they're actually one? So that's kind of confusing when
Mm,
someone tell you a
confusing.
toxic, you know they one, but they separate. So how do you like define that? So a negative and a toxic relationship is often similar, to say it that way. So a negative relationship is where the one partner or peer or family member controls every aspect in the relationship of the other partner, to say it that way. And the other partner feels as if they have to do certain things, or like they have to do things forcefully so that they can keep this relationship. Now that's a negative relationship. So if I would say what falls under negative relationship, I'd also say peer pressure. What we spoke about last week, sorry, forgive me. What we spoke
Yeah.
about peer pressure, that also falls under a negative relationship. So a negative relationship, I would describe also in a quote like a negative relationship is a seed that isn't watered daily. A negative relationship is a seed that isn't watered daily. And why do I say so? Because if you water a seed daily, it grows, it develops, it forms into something beautiful. But if you don't water that seed, or you don't put fertilizer or whatever it is to enhance that, to make it grow faster, it doesn't grow. It's always gonna be there until eventually it gets water, it gets the fertilization that it needs to grow. So that is the same with a person, you see, and a relationship. If you don't add in the, you don't fill in the gaps, that's what happens to a relationship. It doesn't move, it stays stagnant, it's going nowhere. So, in explanation and in full explanation, that is what I mean by a negative relationship. So, um, this is fully based on what I think and what I've heard on relationships. This is I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm always real, 100% real. I'm not in a relationship. This is I wasn't in a negative relationship already, so I'm just giving what I've heard, what I've received, what I've seen, based on what I've seen physically and what I've heard physically also. If you think
Mm.
about it, how this falls under this. So if Lakeisha, were you ever in a negative relationship with one of your um exes, your ex friend, a family member, or ex best friend or peer, to put it in that aspect?
I'd say yes. Yes, I was. And it's not actually a nice experience, to be honest. Um, for me, like when I was in that situation, I was like legit being told I can't do this. I can't go to my best friend at a certain time I wanted to. I can't meet up with my cousins any day, time of the day. So it was not a cool situation at all. No nice experience.
So why would you say it's negative if you can't meet up with those people? Like
For me, it's
what
like
did it stop, like between you and the relationships you have with those people, by not seeing them?
for me it was like I can have a bond with both, but don't try to keep me away from certain people because like how can I say like I grew up with certain of my cousins and you're only coming into my life now, so you have to accept that they are part of my life already. And how can I put it? Just because you don't like them doesn't mean that I must also not like them because you don't like them. And it actually like hurt me because I had to choose and I didn't want to choose. So I had to eventually just call the line just there because I was getting fed up at the point.
That's good, Lakeisha. It's good to express your opinions and your feelings. That what the show is for, us to give you insight on teens and what they face in their relationships. And I would say actually the statement I said earlier, I would say as I was also in a negative relationship, but this um in the form of peers, like your friends. I'd say in that form. I had this friend, and like they define me as a soft-hearted person, Like I don't really look for trouble with anyone or anything of so or whatever it is. Like I'm not really outgoing, but I am kind of an outgoing person, Like I'm not really someone that is I'm more of a humble person, to put it that way. So she was the one that was more outgoing, more loud, more out there, to put it that way. And we were friends and we were close and whatsoever. Then within the relationship, she started noticing things. I started being myself. I got comfortable. Everything happened, and then she used to step on that certain aspects because she know I'm like I got a soft heart and whatever. Like I would forgive her easily for whatever it is that she's done to hurt me or whatever it was. Like she would say or hurtful words or like if it was a social gathering and she would invite friends, then she would like I would come there and she would make fun of me. And there's a lot of like things that I can put under that. Like a negative relationship also involves bullying, like bullying from your friends or bullying even from your family. Like sometimes you have appearance, you have a holding and whatever. Now you've gained some weight, right? Or
Mm.
sometimes you don't know you in a negative environment within your family because the way they grew up is the way they implement the same rules and the same standards that they grew up with. So if they were in a negative environment and they now transfer it into you, it's not because they want to, it's because they don't know any better. But it also like hurts you. Like a negative relationship is very hurtful towards you and even the other person. Like you could be the one that's being that person who's touching that person in the different areas or different aspects where you can overtake or overrule that person, to put it in that terms. That is a negative relationship. So do you understand that, Lakeisha?
Yes, fully.
So I'd say so we're moving on to our third one. So our third one is a toxic relationship. So, what is a toxic relationship? I see on social media, yes, this trends that I want a toxic relationship because this teen series came out that's called After. Everyone's crazy about it. It's basically portraying what a toxic relationship is, but also um the dangers that it can bring and how this one person. So, what is a toxic relationship before I go in depth? A toxic relationship is when the one person, the one peer, the one partner, one family member is taking control over certain areas in the relationship. They are in control, they own you. That is what a toxic relationship is. So, I will make an example. Your friend now you lack in one area. Like I said, close to negative. So they keep touching that area to manipulate you to not leave the relationship. And because you have a strong bond with that person, right? So now you're gonna be like with this person you don't want to leave the relationship, basically. So another form of a toxic relationship is when how can I can make an example. Like in your community, right? Your past. You see different couples, right? Different reasons. One might be financially stable, the other one might be not so financially stable, right? So they're gonna go for, let's say, this is now in the terms of um romantic toxic relationships. So now you with this your partner, whatever, because there's a certain area that they can contribute towards in you. But because you also fell in love with him, to put it that way, you don't want to break the relationship that you guys had. So say for instance you were the time when you met, like people usually portray um like if girls or with a rich guy, let's put it that way. If woman or ladies is with a rich guy or a rich boy, they are gold diggers. But if you
Mm.
love that boy, you love that boy, you made that boy, you didn't go after him for his money. But in the relationship, he's also like buying you things because he's showing appreciation. But in the end, when an argument comes up, he keeps bringing that up. Look, here, I bought you this, I bought you that. What would you have been if I didn't, Such things. That is toxic. It's a toxic relationship. And because you love this person and you love the attention, the attraction, and whatever they're giving to you, you're so afraid to like, speak up, like they go into the cracks, and once you speak up, they now look, okay, you are a humble person, you're soft-hearted person. If I cheat on you, you will forgive me easily. If I if it's a family member, let's go like this. If I give your sister or your brother more attention than you, right? You won't like be angry about it, or you won't feel hurt because you are stronger. Let's put it in that way. Or now your family portrays you as the strong one. You don't need that much attention, but actually you need it. And so they know also you need that. Then they give you attention when they need something from you. That's what a toxic relationship is. So what would you say, Lakeisha? What have you seen toxic relationships in the community or experienced one, or you've loved in a toxic relationship but you were unaware that it was toxic?
Um, so I've been in a toxic relationship and I haven't really seen like a up close toxic relationship as yet, like from the community wise. So like for me, I've like legit what you see like in your examples, like you've been cheated on, you forgive easily. But then after a while, like you'll be like you take it to your heart, like why am I forgiving this person all the time? He's gonna keep on doing the same thing. So for me, it was like, okay, I'm just gonna go back. I'm gonna see how it goes. Same thing happens after a while. Then I'm sitting crying. Don't know why I'm crying because like I know it's toxic, but then I'm in denial because I don't want to know that it's toxic. No, some people knows that it's toxic, but then they don't also want to leave the relationship. And then yeah, I got back to this person after the third time. I was like, nah, I'm done. My feelings is like stone right now. I don't want to see this person near me ever. But whenever I see this person, it's like my heart goes soft again. Like I don't know why, but it keeps on going soft. But I'm other than that, I'm in a relationship with someone else right now, and I'm glad for that because like it keeps my mind away from all the toxic things. So yeah, have you ever been in like a toxic relationship, Lakeisha, or with
I would say
friends
no,
or
but I get you on the your heart goes soft for that person. That means you still care for that person, right? That's
yeah,
basically like an ex best friend, ex boyfriend, or even someone that you were once close to but you're no longer close to. So
yeah,
a form of a toxic relationship is GBV, gender based violence, abuse, physical, mental, emotional abuse, even cyber. I mean, sorry, forgive me. Even when they abuse you by words,
verbal,
that's what I'm about. That is also negative. So that question of how do you know you in a toxic relationship with your family, peers, or partner, I think we've broken down most of it for you. If you have anything to add, the comment section is here. If you're listening or you re-watching the podcast, and you have comments on what toxic relationship is to you, please do feel free to express your um opinion. So Thailand Peterson says loving the topic. Yes, we going in depth. We're
Yes,
going in
yes,
depth.
yes.
So
You have anything to
going,
say, Dylan?
please do feel free to put your comment in the chat box. So, what do you do if you are in a negative relationship? So, yeah, this question come again. A negative relationship, we have explained it depth, is when your partner overtakes you. He touches your weak spots because they know, like, if they touch that spot, it's like for them, it's like you are unable to leave them. So, how do you know you're in a negative relationship? I think it's when your partner overrules, overtakes you. They bully you. Sorry guys, they bully you with words. They touch on your weak spots. They feed off negative energy. They're always downgrading you, telling you that you will find nobody better than them. You know, it was like it was a shock that you found them, or telling you that you're fat, you need to stop eating. That's now family wise. You need to stop eating. You need to stop growing, or you dumb. Such things, like they're just touching negative aspects. Like they feed off negative energy all the time, and that's how you know you're in a negative relationship. Like, and it's also a way for you to you need to speak. Like, communication is key. You need to speak with that person and tell them, look here, I feel like you're giving off negative energy, and this a relationship is negative. And I think we should try and work on this relationship if you really want to be with this person. And but if after that they do not listen and keep being negative, then then that's it. There's nothing, that's more that you can do. So we're moving on to our next topic. So this is new to all youth. Everybody knows this term, a situationship. So I heard it from one of the girls in our group, our YY's group. She was like, "This is a situationship, girls. This is a situationship." And I was like, "A situationship? That's the first time I'm hearing about this." Then I was like, most of us kind of experience this, but we don't know we experiencing. So, Lakeisha, in your words, what is a situationship to you?
For me, at first I was also like, I don't know what the situationship is until like I got explained to. So a situationship for me is like when two people like are seeing each other, but they're not labeled as like girlfriend or boyfriend or anything like that. But they how can I say, they have feelings towards each other, but they don't wanna like tell the other person that they really want to take it to the next level, or they want to see how it goes, or they also with somebody else seeing how that other situationship is working out. So it's like triangle for me. Yeah. And for you?
Opinion. We all have different opinions. A situationship to me is like a new word, or a new way to express when a boy or a girl has romantic feelings towards one another, right? But without a label of boyfriend or girlfriend. And they're trying to figure out if this is what they want. You see, that's what a situationship is to me. It also happens when you are forced. Like when you're forced to talk to this person or work with this person. Let's go with example, school. You have a project, right? And here's this
Mm.
person, boy in the class or this girl in the class, we're talking all sexualities here. There's a romantic feel. Before I go there, you are in class, right? You have to work with this person, a different person, and you don't really like this person, you don't really know this person. But because it's a project and it's worth credit or marks, you have to work with this person because there's no way the teacher's gonna change the idea with us on this person. And it's a month project or a month posting, and the more you're in this person's environment or the partner, and then you start to develop feelings, or you start to feel more comfortable, and you feel more expressive to express who you are, and you find out that this person isn't the way you thought they were, and you start talking to each other, talk to communicate, and that's how you develop feelings and whatever. And you don't want everyone to know because this is a class project. You don't know if you really like each other or if you like being around each other. So that's what I would define as a situationship. You don't know if you like each other or like being around each other, or you don't know. You don't want the label, but you want also people to know
Mm.
something with this person. So
Mm.
what more can you put on a relationship, a situationship, Lakeisha, to put it that way?
Um, I really don't know, but I'd say yeah, like even in the working environment, like so for instance, you're working. Um, One good example is yeah, like for instance, when I was working at the farm. So I was like only working there for a few weeks, and in this I was put in place with this guy, but I didn't like know them because like they were mostly um like keeping to themselves, like they only talk to me like whenever they feel. So I was put on duty with this one guy, and every time I come into a shift, it's always with this guy. So I was like, yo, can't I be with someone else? Like I need, because like whenever I ask this person like what is going on, like can I need a few tips on like what to do here and there in waitress, like because I was a waitress. So he was like, go ask someone else. I'm like, but you my supervisor. Yeah, I'm under your supervision. And he like got irritated because like I'm speaking the truth. I can't go to anyone else and ask them what I'm supposed to do when I'm under his supervision. So I came to a conclusion like we he just had to drag me along everywhere, and like how can I say, the it got so, how can I put it, we got so used to that race to like we have to be around each other because like they never put me
Oh,
with anybody else besides him. You were saying, Lakeisha?
I said it was common. It became a common thing.
Yeah, but for me it was also like weird because like there is other people there, like, and he like got the early shift and yeah, I'm falling in late. And there's also people that's falling in late with me. Why not put me with them? You get me? I'm on that level. So yeah,
That's
and it got so to a point that I was like, nah, I don't want to be here anymore. I had to leave. Yeah, due to that, because I didn't know like must I stay, mustn't I stay. I just had to leave also, and also I had to leave because I also got like a other job opportunity.
that's good, Lakeisha. So would you say that you and this person is friends, or what? What is the relationship? Acquaintanceship?
Acquaintances, because like there's no relation now.
So before I go back to a situationship, an acquaintance is someone that you like, say for instance, a classmate. That is your classmate. That is just your classmate. You're not friends. You don't party. You don't hang out together, you don't do things together as friends, or another way to put acquaintances is someone that you will say hi and bye to. Like you will greet them in the roads and you will maybe comment it on their pictures. So that is an acquaintanceship. You see? So we move back to a situationship. So we had a talk in our call group, in our space, and whatever. And not mentioning names, one of the girls was like, how do you she was like, this is a situationship. Then I was like, how do you define a situationship? Then she was like, it's like I was I was so me and this boy were in the same class and we kind of have feelings for each other. But the class doesn't know, but we know. And we've been texting, meeting up and whatever, and it's almost like a secret of like a new word also for situationship I've seen lately is private also, but not a secret. That kind of for what a situationship and a relationship. Have you seen that on social media, Lakeisha?
I have, yes.
I've seen it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You know all the platforms
Yeah.
where, where social media is a big thing for teens. So
Mm.
how do you let's go to this question. How do you go from a situationship to a relationship? So I'd say when you are in the situationship, everything is private. You don't have a label yet. You're figuring things out. So I'd say try and get to know the person more and more and more, and then eventually put a label to it because you don't want that person to be with another situationship and another situationship and another situationship. You see where I'm going with us? Were
Yeah.
you ever in a situationship, Lakeisha? You said no. Are you sure?
Don't really, not really like sure that I went into a relationship. No.
Didn't go into a relationship.
No.
So like a situationship is also when you have a crush on this person and this person likes you back. But this person,
No, I've never had sex
oh,
like in that sense. No.
yeah, I get what you mean. So how do you go from a situationship to a relationship? So I'd say the one form is turn the situation into action.
Ito-
I'd say I would use that to turn the situation into action. Because it's still like a situation is where you in a whirlwind of figuring things out. Like you have to brainstorm, you have to find new ideas. It's a situation that needs to be fixed. It's kind of like a problematic is a situation. So situation shop where you can shop two people, shop relationship, situation shop. So the way you turn a situationship into a relationship is you find ways to deal with the situation, ways to get to know that person, ways to now put the label there because you're really into this person, and you know that the love chase, the game chase. There's not only one person that's into this person. So if this person
Mm.
really likes you, you need to put it out now because there might be someone else that like you, and that happens a lot amongst youth. We have multiple options, but we have a situation that we put the other options on hold because we're trying to figure things out. That's what the situation is. So to go in more in depth, Lakeisha, how do you think um teens can go from being in a situation to a relationship?
Firstly, like, how can I say, like, if you're in the situationship, figure things out. How do you feel about each other? Discuss it together before, like, taking any drastic measures. And when you came to a conclusion on like how you feel about each other, or is the connection strong enough, and then you take the action and make it like public for everyone to know that you are in a relationship. If you don't like have to put it out there for everyone to know because some people like to be private, not like in a situationship. but remain private. But people know that they're dating in that type of sense.
I get what
So
you
yeah,
mean, Lakeisha. So go to another question is like, how do you how do you indulge or how do you form positive relationships with your family, with your peers, and with your romantic partner? What would
how
you
do
say to that, Lakeisha?
how do I tell
Should I?
positive? Yes, please.
So how do you, right, create a
Mhm.
positive relationship with your family, your peers, or your romantic partner? How do both of you
Pos-
guys keep it positive?
Positive. For me and my friends, we like if you and your friends, you keep it positive by like keep motivating each other, like on doing positive things, like only positive, because you can motivate someone also to do negative things. And we're speaking about the positive aspect, like motivate the person to like do more in the area that they're good at, to with the family, you can motivate like motivate them in a way that they will understand you better, getting to know like this generation better, because they still in that generation of whatever century, like I'll say, for instance, the 17th century, where they've still that mindset of like it has to be that way. The old ways, like old is not always gold, guys. And with your partner, just keep it as clear as possible. Like the positivity has to be there. Motivating, encouraging a person is needed. Because like if you don't do that, the person will be feeling like a failure at the end of the day.
That's actually great points, Lakeisha. I have to give it to you. That's great point. That's great insight and information that we can use in building a positive relationship. So I would say a positive relationship isn't a perfect relationship, but it's just that you know that motivating your partner and helping them, your peer, your friend, your family member, your sister, your sibling, like you're motivating them to be the best version of themselves. You're always feeding positivity. You're motivating them in the key areas where they need motivation, in their self-esteem, their self-image. um when they're under pressure, how do you help them to get like out of pressure? When they're experiencing peer pressure, like we spoke about in last week's podcast. If you haven't tuned into that one or watched that one, it's still up on the channel, on the page. You feel free to go and check it out. We'll all link to this evening's topic.
Podcast.
So, coming back to that, we just want to say that a positive relationship is just straight up motivation, inspiration, and encouragement. Three words: motivation, inspiration, encouragement. Take that with you, MIE. So take that with you in trying to build positive relationships with your friends, your peers, your family, your partner. Always try and motivate that person. Never let that person feel left out in a world full of people, or a big a big form of social gathering or whatever. It's like build that person. So we wanna thank everyone that has tuned in this evening. We wanna thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching. We will be back here next week and Wednesday with another interesting topic on a teen's journey. So we thank you guys for tuning in. We thank you for commenting. We thank you for watching. We thank you for just being interested in the life of teens. So Keisha, do you
Thank you
want to greet
guys.
everyone?
Thank you guys for tuning in. Much appreciated for your time. Thank you. Love you all.
We love you. Love you in sign language. It's like that.
Yeah.
We're sending it out there. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.